But then like meeting him and his team and working with him, and then Jake Gyllenhaal on the other end of that and Dar Salim, like working with all these actors was amazing, man, to see like a huge big budget movie like that come together the way they do it. It's very different, and it was very different from Vice. Not that Vice was small budget; it was still a blockbuster movie, but it was. I mean, to watch Guy Ritchie work is amazing. So,
What was your feeling just being? What went through your mind and your body, like being in the same place with all these actors that you see in the movies and in the red carpet, and now you there with them? How do you feel?
well, so like you have some of that starstruck kind of, you know, I don't know what to call it, episodes, I guess. Like when you see these people for the first time. But I think by the time I got to Guy Ritchie and Jake Gyllenhaal and those guys, you're like relaxed. You've done this before. Like, I've worked with Christian Bale. I've worked with Bradley Cooper. I've worked with all these different actors, Tom Cruise. And so when you work with people like that and you work with these awesome directors, you kind of like, learn how to, again, control that fear or that anxiety that you would get if you just met these people for the first time. So it's nice. It's cool. You get to rub elbows with these people and you get to, you have conversations with them that give you some insight to how they really are versus how they are on screen. Jake Gyllenhaal, I mean, the guy is, one, he's a really good actor, but two, he's one of the most professional people I've met. Super polite, super kind. Like if you stop him with a question, he'll take time to answer it, but then he just wants to do his own thing. He wants to be left alone, but if he does talk to you, the most polite guy you'll ever meet. And so Dar Salim also, I think Dar Salim, to be honest, for that movie, kind of stole the show.
Oh yeah, he did.
So
yeah, I watched it last night before.
Yeah, he stole the show, man. And like he's a up and coming actor out of Belgium. He's Iraqi, by the way, but he grew up in Belgium and he's big over there and he's blowing up. Now this movie kind of brought him to the U.S. He's blowing up here and also very humble, very very polite.
Yeah,
and that's the best experience you could ask for.
Yeah, he was a good fit for the character.
Yeah,
he was a perfect fit. They couldn't pick nobody else but him. He was a good pick.
But I've definitely had my share of like.
Oh yeah, they gave you screen time. Did they give you screen time? Like, yeah. Seeing like, oh, there we go.
Well, because I normally.
But what happened? Like, what they blew you up? Like, they had to. Yeah. Why they do you like that? What they do you like that?
But the movie wasn't really about us, though, right? Like, it was always about Jake and Dar. So
I would prefer just die like a honorable, like, give me 2 seconds of like hold my hand and you know what I mean?
Well, Guy Ritchie wanted to kill me. He wanted to kill me with an RPG. But I told him, I was like, I have the high ground. The RPG's coming from down here. I was like, the chances of them hitting me with an RPG is slim.
Yeah.
I was like, but they were shooting mortars at us too. And I was like, well, just hit me with a mortar eventually. Like, we'll walk a mortar in and then eventually get me. And that's how we went out.
That was good, yeah.
But the only reason I got to play that part is because for that entire mine scene, which was huge scene, that's where we all kind of die. But for that scene, they had split teams, right? You had one team that went up and the other team stayed down. And so I told them, I was like, realistically, we would need somebody on that middle ground to overwatch and communicate between the two teams, but also watch the roads. And so all the stunt guys were busy doing stunts that day. So he's like, well, you're going to have to play this part. Because he liked it. He was like, that makes sense. Let's do it. But you're going to have to play it. And I was like, okay, just don't give me any lines because I don't want to ruin your movie. I'm not an actor. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to ruin your movie. And that's what he did. He gave me lines.
You did pretty good.
So I spent a lot of time picking wild onions out of the North Carolina grounds and just eating raw onions. But then I got sick of it. I got sick of that. I got sick of like tree bark soup. I got sick of eating termites out of dead logs. And we came up across like some conventional army unit that was also training around that area. Mm-hmm. And the sun was about to set. And we were like, bro, these guys have MREs in there. Like they have MREs. They probably even have protein shakes. Like if we get lucky, they might have protein
M&Ms,
shakes.
all that stuff.
I'm telling you. So we were like, let's wait for it to get dark and then let's sneak in there and steal some stuff. And that's what we did. We waited for the sun to go down. And we snuck in there, and we stole 2 boxes of MREs and like one packet or one thing of Gatorade, and that was we took off. And we also did that because we were desperate. We hadn't eaten for the last 3 days, and we knew that we were about to get captured. basically the next day. So we were like, let's just stuff our faces because, who knows where we're going to eat next. So that was one cool story, and we did that without getting caught. I thought for sure we're gonna get caught because there guys were outside, like hanging out, smoking, doing normal, things that we do out in the field.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we got in there and stole 2 boxes of MREs was amazing. The other funny story from there is because you have a lack of food and you're deprived of sleep in SERE school, at some point you start to hallucinate.
Oh yeah.
And there was one time where I was out in the yard walking, and out of the corner of my eye, I looked down. I'm like, what did I just see? And like, I didn't see anything. But then I look away and I look back, and there's a Dr. Pepper can on the ground, right? And I'm just like, I'm just looking at it like, where did this come from? who put this here? And then I like look away and I look back and it's gone.
It just kind of blurs the line. It's
Well,
crazy.
on another night, there was another guy that started running around, and we were like, "What's? Why is he running?" And he was like, "Help me catch the chicken." He thought there's a chicken in the yard, and he was trying to catch this chicken. He was like, "I'm gonna cook this thing," and we're looking at this guy. He's running around. I'm like, we don't know what he's chasing. I'm like, why is he running? He's about to get himself in trouble. But he's legitimately like, guys, help me catch this chicken. I'm like, oh my God, dude, he's hallucinating. Like we're all just getting cracked out in here, you know? So, but it was a good school. You learn a lot, but then you come away from that and you add that to your little toolbox of other skill sets that you learn. And
What was your first deployment with the team?
First deployment with the team was non-combat. It was 2008, I believe. We went to Jordan. Yep. We were in Jordan for, I want to say 3 weeks. Jordan training with the Jordanian Special Forces on their compound, but also Kasadic. Remember Kasadic, that big multinational training compound in Jordan? That it was the grand opening of that as well. So we were also putting on a dog and pony show for the grand opening of this international training. I mean, this thing is amazing. They have a 747 that they land little birds on just so they can hit the plane, do hostage rescue on the
Really?
747.
That's
Very
nice.
sophisticated. A lot of money got dumped into this place. I know the U.S. itself put $30 million into that facility. But it was cool. So the timing was cool. We went there. I was a new guy, so it's like shut up and just soak up everything. You know what I mean? That's how much we're shooting. And it's all very advanced levels of shooting. And then also when we go into the house, it's very it's a soft level of CQB, not like a conventional level. You know what I mean? And so we come in with it. So it's like you in that time, not only as an instructor, but as a student, you become very good at shooting. You also become very good at room clearing and CQB. As an instructor, you learn how to talk in front of an audience. You're a Green Beret talking in front of 40 Green Berets that are judging you every minute. They are literally judging you, and they're waiting for you to fuck up. So you better be sharp on what you're saying and how you're delivering that. So you hone in on all these like different skill sets. And so when I left that school and I left group, I was like, well, why don't I just take this and make it a training company and teach the same things, and the things I have to leave out, I leave out, but then I also just make a civilian version of this, of Safawic basically, of the school. So that's what I did. And I didn't know how to like get my name out there, but thank God there was like social media and Instagram, and I had a young Instagram account back then, and I just posted like little 15-second videos of me shooting, and the page started blowing up, and then I used that to like promote a class. And my very first class was in El Paso in 2017. So before I even left the military, I was kind of teaching classes around the country, and then once I left the military, I really kind of ramped that up. I brought on some instructors and stuff, and
Nice.
now it's a full training company, but we also have attached the military consulting side to it, not just for Hollywood, but also for defense companies and defense contractors, night vision, weapons components, thermals, armor, kit, range belts, holsters, lights, lasers. I mean, you name it.
It's a whole plethora of equipment out there. So
Apparel, boots. Yeah, I mean, you name it, we do consulting for it. So either on the testing and evaluation side of things, where they send us stuff and we, have our fun with it, put it through our little, gauntlet, and then we also give them content for that on the platforms, or we come in on the development or the research and development side of it or phase of it, where they're actually asking us for our input on design and features and function.
that's nice.
So it's cool. It's a multifaceted company, and we do a lot of that. And also we're content creators too, So You kind of have to be these days if you want a successful business.
Oh yeah. If you don't, you're behind the 8 ball. So
Yeah, and that's it. So that's just what it is, and it's a lot of traveling for the military consulting stuff.
do you travel a lot?
Yeah, monthly. I mean, I go to LA, I go to Nashville, and then here within Texas, I go to Austin, I go to Dallas Fort Worth all the time. Like weekly, I go. So it's a lot of traveling for these obligations, but then I also get to, kind of schedule my own downtime.
That's good.
Like the entire month of November, I think I took off. So,
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice, you get to work for yourself and schedule that. But like this year, we got SHOT Show coming up Friday.
That was my question. Like, are you going to SHOT Show?
Going to SHOT Show. Yep. It's going to SHOT Show Friday. Going to LA Friday, and I have a couple.
This Friday, right? This Friday
coming up in a couple of days. Going to LA I have a couple of things going on there. But then we're driving to Vegas for SHOT Show. We'll be there all week, and then I come back to LA to teach, and then I fly home. But it's like a 10-day trip, Yeah. So
I think I got a couple of friends. They have their own business. They will be in SHOT Show. I don't know if they have a booth or not, but I'll let you know later if they have a booth, so you can stop by and be like, "Hey, I met Julio." So
either give me their name or give me their booth number, and we'll add it to the list because there's already a long list.
I know, right? So,
yeah.
what all the stuff between your company and the consultant, which one kind of like is your cash cow? Which out of the two, the consultant portion or the training?
I mean, if we're talking about like what brings in the most money,
right? That brings you the most money.
Yeah, it's definitely consulting.
Consulting.
Yeah, but that's only because I chose to shape it that way.